Okay guys, this is Terry. Alright, we were talking about doing the actual sequential fuel injection. We're going to change over on the Vet. We're going to change it from being a batch fire to sequential so we can actually control the fuel injection better. Plus, we'll be actually changing over to OBD2, and that actually help you on other systems. One of the first things you actually need to do, and in fact, you just go find you a Vortec motor. Go find it in the junkyard, it's not a big deal. Or you can buy new. But this is a timing cover off a Vortec motor. Of course, you're not supposed to reuse them, but you know, we're going to anyways. But basically, you got to find one that actually has the actual crank sensor hole and all that. Find you a crank sensor, which of course this one was still in there because we did a motor here at the shop, and I just kept, because I knew I was going to do this later on, so I kept that. You're going to need the reluctor wheel. Now, the good thing about the L98, it actually still has the actual keyway compared to the actual LT1 that actually runs the OptiSpark. Now, basically, since we actually still have this, you actually take the timing cover off and go ahead and replace the timing cover with this type timing cover. Get you a crank sensor, get you a reluctor wheel, and you would actually have to get the harmonic balancer that actually came off the actual Vortec motor. Now, this shaft is actually shorter to accommodate for the reluctor wheel. Now, if you try to use the same harmonic balancer that was on your actual Vet, it's going to be too long. Your pulleys aren't going to line up or anything like that. So definitely, which we'll use the pulley off of the, we'll probably use the pulley off the Vet, but if not, we actually got the pulley, we got the harmonic balancer, the reluctor wheel, the actual crank sensor, the timing cover. Now, this is the Vortec motor. This is just one we got in the shop. Vortec has the spider injection with the throttle body. So you're going to want this wiring harness, so you're going to actually want to get your actual coil off of here, your ignition module, your actual distributor back here, because the Vortec runs a different distributor, because you're going to need that cam signal, because you're going to run a crank and a cam signal switch. So basically, you're going to need this whole harness, and actually go ahead all the way up to the computer. And then what you're going to do is you're going to find about a 99 2002 van or truck that actually has a 411 PCM, which of course you'll see it right there at the last parts of the actual computer number right there. And basically, and get the actual plugs, because you're just going to actually take these wires and put them in that actual computer actual plug-in. You're not going to use the Vortec, but the good thing about the Vortec, it actually has sequential fuel injection, so you wanted that wiring so you can actually just go into the other computer. So that's the parts you're going to need. You're going to need a 411 PCM, which this is not it, but you're going to need one. You're going to need the connectors that go into the 411. You're going to need this harness that actually controls all the sensors on this motor. You're going to need the coil. You're going to need the ignition module, the distributor, the reluctor wheel, the timing cover, harmonic balancer, and the crank sensor. Basically, but those are all the parts you're going to need to go to sequential. And we're going to start on this week. We're actually going to go ahead and start putting the front timing cover, the actual reluctor wheel, crank sensor. We're going to put all that in there. And the good thing is we actually still have a distributor compared to the OptiSpark, so we can put them parts on and not affect the car, because it's still going to run fine and all that. Now, once we get to the wiring harness and stuff like that, then of course we're actually going to have to go in there, and actually we're going to be down sometime. But you know, I have two vehicles, not a big deal, but it's a project. That's how you do it. But please like and subscribe, and we're going to keep on with the project. And like I said, we're going to change over, and we're going to see how this Vet runs with OBD2 sequential fuel injection on a tune port injected L98 motor.